I have been with the Mastermind since its inception. Loyal follower here. Tons of value in this group. I wouldn't be where I am as a creator without it.
What I love about it is that these conversations energize me, but it also keeps me grounded. I can tend to have a lot of ideas and not really know the steps to take to implement them. So I found that this has been invaluable for forcing me to keep my head in the clouds, but one foot on the ground, hopping forward.
I've lost track at this point. This is my 4th or 5th session with Mastermind, but I found it absolutely irreplaceable over these last 2 years, just from a mentality and a support system. So I'm a huge believer in this, and everybody new that's here, I think you made a good choice.
What I get from the group is encouragement, and just the positivity that we get from this every time is very helpful, because it can be draining sometimes.
Definitely have seen revenues increase and profits. I just want to keep that ball rolling and snowballing and have a great time.
I really like the support of the group to make me feel a little bit less terrified of people looking at me and judging the things that I'm making. And I found that this group has been great for that.
As far as what I get from this group, it's a lot of different things. Structure is one of them. I have a hard time focusing a lot of times, and this group helps me keep accountable. Every time I come, it's been a great experience. It's the inspiration, not just in terms of good attitude and a good vibes, but seeing where I could get to if I keep persisting.
A lot of it is cheering myself on and helping others when I see them struggling.
I'm just excited about the connections, just for soaking up sponge like what everybody else is going through creatively.
To Tyler, we were con buddies in the early days, just learning from him, and as he's grown, kind of riding that wave along with him. The reason I am here is because I just want to get better at this stuff and learning from other people's successes.
My children's book series originated from a seed that Tyler put into my, and I think it was the first time he was like, I would like to see what you would like to share with the world, Moana.
I gain a lot from trying to learn from everyone else's challenges and leveraging their knowledge. I didn't have to go through as much pain as the more experienced members have gone through.
It's really inspirational for me because I learned things that I hadn't even been thinking about yet, because I haven't gotten there in a project yet. And those kinds of things are super helpful for when they do come up.
The Mastermind group is people that just want to take the focus a little further and are just a little bit more, I don't want to say obsessed, but a little bit more skin in the game, right?
And I learn a lot from all the creators here, and I think I get just as much, if not more, from everyone else's hot seats and issues than I do my own. The encouragement and the support system that I get through this is why I keep coming back.
If you'd like to meet once a month with a group of... All right. Hello, everybody. Tyler James here. I am live with you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the ComixLaunch MasterMind info session for the July 2024 groups. I'm excited to share what I have for you and share more about masterminds. And so if you are interested in learning more about what a mastermind is, how it can help you, and how you can join one that I run, that you're in the right place. So I want to welcome you. Thank you for watching this, whether you're watching live or checking out the replay. Thanks for being here. You are in the right place if you are a comic book creator, a writer, an artist, a publisher, and you're interested in growing your audience, your network, and your creative business this year. Just for a quick check-in, you can leave a comment in the chat if you're watching on a place where you can comment. I'd just be curious to find out if you've been in a mastermind before. Either, one, you have and you're in one right now. Two, you have been in a mastermind before, but you're not in one right now. Three, you've never been in a mastermind before. Or four, you are not sure. Whether you're in any of these categories, by the end of this, you will know what a mastermind is, and you'll know whether or not you've been in one, and you'll know whether or not one might be a good idea for you this year. So that's my sort of mini promise to you all. If you don't know who I am, that would be surprising, but I am Tyler James. I'm the publisher of Comics Tribe. I'm the founder of ComixLaunch Pro. I'm the host of the ComixLaunch podcast, and I've been making comics since I was about 12 to 14 years old, selling them since about 14 or 15, and been sharing my journey and helping others do the same since I've been doing this. So it's a pleasure to be here once again. Comics Tribe, my publishing imprint, is known for a lot of horror series, a lot of superhero books. We've been distributed through Diamond, but have had a ton of success on Kickstarter as well. I've also have experience in the children's book realm with the C is for Cthulhu book and toy brand. And I've personally managed over, I believe, about $1.25 million worth of crowdfunding efforts on Kickstarter. But that's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of publishing and publishing experience over the years. But one of the things that I'm best known for and my opportunity to talk and connect with creators on a weekly basis has been primarily through the Comics Launch podcast, which has been a weekly show since 2015. And since 2016, I've also been doing a program and running a programming community where I've taken what I've learned in publishing and crowdfunding and navigating these comic waters and turning them into a community and a program for creators to try to get a lot of results. And over the past almost 8 years now, they've gotten a lot of results inside the Comics Launch Pro community. Our creators have now boasted over 800 successful launches. They have our creators tend to fund at around a 97% success rate, and we also have a really great relaunch success rate for the 3% that don't hit on their first go out with us. And in our community, 6.4 million of the all the millions that have been raised in the comic book category, well, those are creators that have gone through our program, and so it's been a thrill to lead that. One of my operating principles since I've gotten started in this world is inspired by this quote by Zig Ziglar. He says, "You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want." And that's sort of how I've tried to approach this. Most of my best ideas are free on the internet, on the podcast, but that has actually made opened so many doors for me, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. So yeah, if you are tuning in here live or in the watching the replay or catching this, I'd just love to know how your year has been so far. Scale of 1 to 10. You can put a number in the chat, but how is your 2024, all things considered? How's it been? It's been kind of a wild year, 2024 already, but I think there's also this feeling that at least I know in the UK right now, like there's a big controversial election coming up. Of course, in the US, this is an election year. So I think there's a feeling that the crazy is coming. Okay. And if we are not careful, crazy and the world can distract us. We are living in a turbulent time. 2024 has, it really has already been crazy. And I think the promise is that the rest of the year is going to be even crazier. But that being said, I truly believe that creators who focus and who hone in and really focus down, despite all the distractions that the world is going to throw at us this year, are still going to win. And I know for myself and for many of the creators inside of Comics Launch Pro, 2024 has already been a highly productive year. On my Comics Tribe publishing front, we already had a 6-figure launch earlier this year, and then another strong comic book launch for our publishing imprint. And so far in 2024, our Comics Tribe publishing projects that I've run have already raised over $150,000 this year. And so we are definitely on track to have a record-setting year in crowdfunding for my publishing imprint. And I know there are a lot of creators that are sort of in the same boat that I've been working with. So I'm excited to see what the rest of the year has to come. I know personally I'm just getting started. We're just getting started at Comics Tribe. We've got 3 launches that are sort of in the hopper, and we'll be rolling out over the next couple of months. So it's going to be a busy year for me. I've had some big wins this year, and the Comics Launch Pro community has continued to grow and to thrive. And I think we are on pace for another record-setting year of funding for creators in our program. And I also believe, like, right now at this moment, there is like the most amount of money pledged in the comic book category on Kickstarter ever. So we are sort of in a pretty historic place right now. So if you're thinking about this crowdfunding world, or if you're already in it, you're in the right place. I'm also celebrating this year the 8th anniversary of leaving the day job, being a full-time creator, and I'm super grateful to be able to do what I do for a living. It's given me the chance to really watch my boy grow up from the confines of my home and see him just grow up before my eyes. Just graduated from kindergarten today, as his last day of kindergarten for the summer, and so it's a treat to be able to spend my time either working on dream projects for myself and other creators that I work with, or helping other creators get their projects funded. But one of the things that I've done over the last 7 years now is that as a part of what I do to support creators is I've created and run the Comics Launch Mastermind, and had introduced dozens, I think we might have been close to 100 total creators at this point, to the power of mastermind groups. And so inside the masterminds groups that I've run personally, I've seen creators do things like post their first 5-figure Kickstarter launch, have a 9-figure Kickstarter launch, or have 9 5-figure Kickstarter launches in a row. A 9-figure launch would be a new record. Secured amazing reviews for their comic series to help promote their books. I've seen them invest in new art courses and training to upgrade their skills, recruit artist partners for new series, hit their writing goals. A creator in our mastermind had a project covered in the New York Times, another doing businessy stuff, registered a trademark for their property. Another creator launched a $30,000 Kickstarter project. Another collaborated with a mastermind member on an anthology project, new webcomic up and running, navigated partnerships with a gaming company, and so on. There's just all sorts of different goals and things that creators have been able to, and wins that these creators have been able to stack up. And it's the kind of thing where no two creators come into our mastermind with the exact same goal or target. But what's very exciting is that you're bringing creators that do share this drive to improve, and the inspiration of what they're thinking about and things that they're thinking about and how they're going about achieving these goals. Having other creators really get an upfront view of what that's like has this ripple effect, and it keeps people inspired and keeps them going. And so the particular wins and the particular achievements of the creators is going to vary from creator to creator, but every creator that I've worked with in this mastermind has accomplished big things and big wins over the period that they're participating. It really is a group of creators who are committed to leveling up. And a key practice that all of these creators share is that they invest regularly back into their creative businesses and their selves. And they do that and find that they get the biggest return when they invest in two things: their skill set and their network. And that's how I try to devise my programs, is that and anytime you're going to work with anything that's Comics Launch related, you're going to get a skill upgrade and you're going to get a network upgrade. And so what I want to lay out for you today is answering just all the basic questions that you might have about this Comics Launch Mastermind thing. I'll share what is a mastermind, what a mastermind can do for your creative business, why I first started it and why I've continued to do it, and why creators keep coming back. I'll cover in detail what's included in the Comics Launch Mastermind, specifically how it works, what the commitment and investment is to be a part of it, and how to apply. And I'll answer some frequently asked questions. And if there are any questions that pop up, I'll share those as well. So what is a mastermind really? The way I think about answering this question is with another question. And so I encourage creators to think about this. Like, besides yourself, how many other people are there on the planet who know exactly what it is that you're trying to create this week, this month, this year, in the next 5 years, or in your lifetime, want you to succeed and regularly think about what they can do to help you on your mission? You can trust that they can offer you good, knowledgeable advice, and that they'll always tell you it's straight, even if it's not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. And you also meet with these people on a regular, consistent basis to talk about these things, because that relationship is a priority in your life. How many people do you have in your world right now who fit that description, and you can check every one of those boxes? I'll be honest, if you have one person that is in your life that you are meeting with regularly, they can, are sort of, they know where you're going, they have knowledge that can support you on that journey, and they're always telling it to you straight. They're not worried about hurting your ego or hurting your pride, but they are there in a positive way. If you have people like that in your life, you're winning. But I know there were lots of times in my own journey where I was sort of going at this entirely alone, and no one outside of my own thoughts knew like what I'm trying to achieve here. And so it was definitely a limiting thing. And so the converse of and the power of being a part of a mastermind is, you can sort of imagine there's a small group of high performers and achievers, creators that you respect the hell out of and admire, and they regularly, constantly have you on their minds, in the back of their heads. Imagine you have this creator group there that is thinking about how they could support you, include you, collaborate with you, connect you, and create with you. And would that make a difference in your creative business and your life? I've seen that it has. So some things that a mastermind group can bring you is accountability. And Brant Fowler was an example. He was having trouble hitting his writing goals, and just having a group of creators and other writers that were also trying to be more diligent and hitting their writing goals, knowing that he could check in and report back with them on a daily basis or a weekly basis, and that check-in was coming, helped him really get back on track with his writing progress. Support is another thing that the mastermind groups come in. And Clay Adams was one of our founding members. He one of his most successful Kickstarters to date at that time sort of came from him talking through an idea that he was only kind of thinking about, but the reaction and support from the mastermind encouraging to pursue that idea made it a no-brainer for him to take it to the finish line. A mastermind can sort of be your own personal brain trust. We all have ideas and decisions and dilemmas, and the ability to run those and screen those in front of an experienced group of creators that are serious about this, dedicated about this, and have connections and experiences and resources that we might never have heard of. It's just invaluable. And so mastermind really is a small, very focused group of like-minded creators who commit to meeting regularly to share resources and connections, sharpen and strengthen their creative business strategies, and support each other in mutually beneficial ways. A mastermind can be a safe space for big, scary ideas, instant feedback, a pool of resources, collaborations and joint ventures, info and network sharing. It can be a place for shining light on new possibilities, as well as pushing others and being pushed to achieve greatness. And they're also a place for fun. Albert Lim, one of our founding members, said about the mastermind, if I ask a question, I know I'm going to get a quality answer that's going to improve me, and that's because of the quality of the people in the group. The monthly mastermind meetings help keep me on track, and the check-ins help keep me focused on doing the things I said I was going to do. Now, that's what a mastermind is. What a mastermind is not, or how it's different than some of the other things out there, it's not a how-to course, although the way I run my mastermind, you'll see that you will have access to some materials in the course of a mastermind that do take the form of a course. But the core offer of a mastermind, it's not a course. It's actually something that you're going to go and you're going to be present at. It's also not a sage on the stage seminar. with my podcast and with my courses and things, yeah, the promise there is, hey, I know something, I'm going to teach it to you. But that's not my role in the mastermind. My role there rather is to be a facilitator and to draw out the collective genius of the group. A mastermind's also not a done for you service. It's not a one-on-one coach. It's not an overcrowded nameless group where you can hide anonymously in the crowd. And it's also not, they don't tend to be groups where just anyone and everyone can get in. Most good mastermind groups do have some criteria so that the people in the group are, not on vastly different experience levels or vastly different, are interested in vastly different things. It's important that there's certain, criteria to be a part of a mastermind. So some of the things a mastermind can do for you is it can help you achieve your business goals faster. It can provide structure and accountability for you. It can help you troubleshoot issues and find solutions to your problems. It can provide you access to new resources, contacts, and networks. It can help you uncover blind spots, tap into new ideas, and hear fresh perspectives. It can provide you some community and connection. And I know over the past pandemic era, the mastermind was kind of a lifeline for people that were stuck in their house. We were Zooming before it was cool. And masterminds are also a lot of fun. These are opportunities to get around people that are interested in and weird people that are interested in the same stuff that you're interested in. And that can be energizing and a lot of fun to have those kinds of conversations that most people in your life, you probably can't have a deep level conversation about variant covers or strategies for promoting your comic or writing, breaking through writer's block, things like that. Clay Adams, a writer and founder and co-publisher of Fried Comics, said, "The mastermind hot seats are incredibly valuable. I walk away from the sessions on a high from connecting with all these great people with stuff that I can walk away and do." And it's true. The hot seat is sort of the core of what we do in our mastermind. We spend a lot of time, and the bulk of the sessions are built around real problems, looking for real solutions from real creators that are making up the group. And so one of the questions that I usually have, and you'll see a similar question if you decide to apply for the ComixLaunch Mastermind, but what describes the most important thing that you're trying to accomplish this year? Would you say you're shooting for, say, a personal crowdfunding best launch for your comic? Are you looking to seriously increase the size of your fan base? Are you trying to break into new sales channels? Are you trying to finally complete a big creative passion project? Which of those best describes what you're hoping to accomplish before the year is out? Because the answer is that mastermind members over the course of the past several years have, during their sessions and during the time in the mastermind, they've achieved all of those. Robert Moltari achieved new backer highs and new funding total highs while a member of the mastermind for his projects. Melody Pena finally got that big passion project done and launched and out into the world. And if you're wondering what might come on the back end of a $100,000 Kickstarter launch, well, it might require your husband or significant other to get a forklift, because those are all the books that Melody had produced after her big launch. So I started the ComixLaunch Mastermind because I realized that there were creators in my extended network of thousands who might be on the cusp of a breakthrough year, but they didn't necessarily need another course. What they really needed was more connection, more community, more contacts, and some accountability to stick with the things that they say they want to do, and to also have support around those things. And that's really what a mastermind can be. That's what I saw, that there were creators in my community that could really use a mastermind. And so I saw my greatest value to the audience is my ability to connect and assemble the right group of creators. I call that getting my Nick Fury on, because in the mastermind context, it's not really about what I personally, Tyler James, can know or can do, but it's It's rather about realizing that no one has a monopoly on good ideas, and that a lot of magic happens when you get the right people in the room and they're all there for the right reasons. And so I've continued to do the mastermind time and again, because it works and creators get a ton of value from it. And they have made connections that they might not have otherwise have met. And I love it when creators travel to a new city and, whether they're attending a con in a new city and, oh, well, they've got some built-in friends, because there's some other creators that they might not have met otherwise, but they have met in the mastermind. And so I just love facilitating those connections. And because I've been able to do the podcast for so long and been publishing for so long and been sharing my journey for so long, I have a lot of connections, and I'm able to connect a lot of creators and a lot of really great people. George O'Connor has been a member for a while. He said, I've found the ComixLaunch Mastermind absolutely irreplaceable over these past few years from a mentality and support system perspective. I'm here because I want to get better by learning from other creators. And George is also, one of the best cheerleaders that you could have in your corner. And so attracting people like George is the number one job for me when I go and talk about masterminds. Moana McAdams also said that the mastermind has a ton of value. She wouldn't be where she is as a creator without it. And again, my number one job as facilitator, it's to assemble the right group of high caliber, serious creators and create an environment where they can all have breakthrough year through mutual support and accountability. That's sort of my role in the mastermind. And that is the ComixLaunch Mastermind is the particular iteration of how I do it. So the invitation to the ComixLaunch Mastermind for creators that are interested in adding a mastermind to their life, and at least for this summer and to the end of the year, the mastermind is run and led each month by me. And it's for comic book creators, writers, and publishers who are already on their journey and potentially looking to level their creative business up, usually in the targets, those high 5 to 6-figure mark and beyond. And so sometimes that's a little bit daunting for some creators who might think that they're not quite there yet. And sometimes there are creators that have accomplished a lot in sort of one vertical or area of their life, or one aspect of media or publishing, but maybe their comic book or their crowdfunding expertise isn't quite as developed as that. That's okay. You can still apply, and I'll make sure that it's a good fit for you. But the target and the goal is always going up. And I will say we have a mix of creators that are full-time creators, as well as creators that have a day job or have another career, and their comic book creation and publishing is sort of a side hustle. In some cases, it's a side hustle that they always intend to keep a side hustle and just want to maximize it as best as they can. And in other cases, they're hoping to get to the point through developing and growing to the point where they can replace completely their day job and become a full-time creator. And so we have a mix of creators in the group that cover that gamut. But what's offered with the ComixLaunch Mastermind, it's a 6-month immersive mastermind experience. It features monthly roundtable coaching and accountability calls with me. You'll have access to a private Facebook mastermind group for anytime conversation and support. Included are monthly themes and high performance exercises for creators that want to go deeper, get support around some of the most common areas that creators like us struggle with. There are accountability check-ins, and we give you a connection to a small group of high performers and achievers who are going to have you on their minds for that mutual support and benefit. You'll also have access while you are a ComixLaunch Mastermind member. If you are not already a member of ComixLaunch Pro, you'll actually get 6 months access to our entire library of ComixLaunch Pro courses and training materials. We realize that it's important that everybody sort of has the same playbooks that they can refer to. And so that's one of the reasons that I make that available. You'll also get access to over 30 ComixLaunch MasterMind masterclasses from industry pros. These are guests that I've invited to come teach something or share a topic of their expertise over the past 7 years. I have a library of these that I've built up, and you'll have instant access to that as well. Plus, you'll also be able to join up to 3 mastermind master classes, bonus classes throughout the next 6 months with experts and creatives. And you can attend those live, and you'll have access to the recording, and you'll be able to attend those live, ask questions, meet the guests, etc. Christopher Michael, who is one of our founding members, said, if you're thinking about joining the next section, I can promise it will be well worth your time and money. In the last 6 months, I've not only learned more than my brain can handle, but I've also taken action towards my goals in a way I simply wouldn't have done it if I hadn't plunged myself into this immersive experience. Do it. And so the ComixLaunch Mastermind is application only. I'm only accepting applications from creators who can commit to making a mastermind group a priority in their lives for at least the next 6 months, are already on their journey, their creative journey, and they have a vision for where they want to go. Creators who are looking to level up their creative business and their peer network, and creators that get genuinely excited about the prospect of contributing to the growth of other creators' businesses along with their own. The commitment is, when you enroll in the ComixLaunch Mastermind, I want you to commit to this group for 6 months. We purposefully focus on a 6-month progress, that usually within those 6 months, we can get 2 high impact 90-day goals complete in those 6 months. And it's enough time for you to actually build really strong connections and get to know other creators. So the next 6-month term that we're enrolling is running from July through December of 2024. And just the commitment is, we ask you to make the group and the people in it a priority in your life so that you can receive the benefits of a mastermind. The investment, sort of the elephant in the room, sounds good. What's the investment, Tyler? First question that I do get sometimes still, though not as much, is why charge anything at all to be a part of a group like this? And the short answer, and sometimes I've even heard it, more aggressively, like, if you really wanted to help the most creators, why not make these groups free to join? And the reason for that is a few things. I've found that things that are easy to get in are often easy to get out. And any of the free masterminds that I've seen out there, or that I've participated in myself in my early days, free masterminds where it's easy to get in, it's easy to get out, they always tend to fizzle out, and they usually fizzle out way too early, even if they start really, really strong. Reason for that is we value what we pay for, and the investment also helps ensure that the people in this group are serious about building their creative businesses versus just hanging out. And you've probably seen this anytime that you've been in a discussion board that is for people that are like taking a program or invested in going to an educational thing, versus free forums that are just out there, or comment threads, or God forbid social media. The quality of conversation, comments is so much higher when you know that everyone in there has a little bit of skin in the game. And also, I've found that when you decide to invest in something like this, that is an investment, there's a transformation there. You're basically saying to the world, no, I'm serious about this, and I'm dedicated to getting a return on what I put in there. It ensures that people, are going to prioritize it and show up week in and week out, and show up in the groups and attend the meetings. And it's also what's allowed me to keep this group running for 7 years now. So I think it may be one of the longest running masterminds in the comic space now. So the good news is that Mastermind's not for everybody. All you really need to make a group really, really successful is have a group of 5 to 7 serious, committed creators That's all that's really needed for a mastermind to thrive. Okay. And so the Comics Launch Mastermind for July 2024 is $197 per month, or a single payment of $997 paid in full. Comes out to be about $5.49 a day. If you are already a Comics Launch Pro member, we do have a special price of $149 per month, or $797 paid in full. So you save a couple $100 if you're already a member of the Comics Launch Pro program. Again, that includes the mastermind, but it also includes access to all of our training programs, our list launch email list building program for comic book creators, our Kickstarter, our complete Kickstarter system, the Comics Launch course, a Beyond Kickstarter program for sales after your Kickstarter campaigns are over, and other sales channels, and then also our ad launch program, which is our paid traffic program or Facebook marketing. And the total value of all of those programs is over is about $2,500 in value there. And on top of that, you also get instant access to 30 plus master classes with insiders from Kickstarter. We've got some Hollywood producers and managers to talk about, exploiting your stuff outside of Kickstarter and into other media. We've got a great training from Russell Nolte in there about 5-figure anthologies, some business budgeting and money management for creatives. Basically, over the years, I've looked at the group, looked at the interests of the group, and looked at areas where, hey, maybe there's not an expert on this particular topic that we want to know about, but we still want to get some training or get some resources on that. And so I've been able to tap into my expanded network and bring in experts to come teach that stuff. So you'll have access to over 30 plus master classes, and you'll be invited to 3 more live master classes in the new session. Again, there's some really great stuff in there. David Pepos teaching PR, Walter Osley teaching webtoons, Ryan Clater teaching how to plan an online book tour to really promote your Kickstarters. So much good stuff. And so just to recap, Comics Launch Mastermind includes 6 months of monthly roundtable coaching and accountability calls, access to the private Facebook mastermind group, monthly themes and high performance exercises, accountability check-ins, a full access to the entire library of Comics Launch Pro materials, as well as instant access to the mastermind specific mastermind class library, and an invitation to attend new master classes with guest experts over the next 6 months. You'll also lock in your price so that even if the price goes up in the future for the mastermind, you will not have to worry about that if you want to keep continuing beyond the 6 months. And the total value of the mastermind, about $5,000, but you can join for $197 a month with a 6-month commitment, or save $197 with a single payment of $997. And again, if you're an existing Comics Launch Pro member, you can save on both of those plans. Again, this is the lowest that we'll ever offer for the mastermind enrollment. So this is the best deal you're going to get. Testimonials, we've got a ton of them, or shared a bunch at the beginning of this broadcast in terms of creators sharing their value that they get for the program. I love this one from Kevin Joseph, who said, "I've been working with Tyler over the last year or so in the Comics Launch Mastermind. The skills and practices I've been exposed to and taught during that year have already paid for themselves, and I believe will be the cornerstone of my career moving forward. I recommend the Comics Launch community unreservedly as an exceptional investment in your business." And Kevin's going on. He's in the 6-figure club in terms of funding for his series Tart on Kickstarter, and as just makes great comics and has continued to do really cool stuff. So if you are interested in the Comics Launch Mastermind, your next steps is to first make sure that you meet the requirements, make sure that you're a creator who's already on your journey. You're able to make this group a priority for the next 6 months. You're excited about the prospect of adding value for others as much as receiving it. And the joining of the Comics Launch Mastermind should be an investment for you, but it shouldn't be something that's going to completely wipe you out or burden you financially. If that's the case, if you can check those boxes, I encourage you to fill out the Comics Launch Mastermind application. It is application only, and acceptance is by application only. So I do need to get an application to get you in a spot. I review all of those applications carefully, and after you complete an application, there is a $50 yes, I'm serious 100% refundable deposit that I ask you to place, and the deposit does need to be in before I will review the application. There's limited number of spots, and so I don't want to. I can't spend a lot of time on creators that aren't willing enough to put down $50 for a refundable deposit. And so if you are someone who is just on the fence, well, take the first step. Just fill out the application. It's designed, it's not terribly long, but there's some really good questions in there. So regardless of where you're at, now is a great time to hit the pause button for a second and think about, okay, somehow we are almost into the second half of 2024 already. And we know the second half of 2024 is going to be insane, and the world is going to be conspiring to distract us from our goals, right? So taking a little bit of stock to think about what you want to actually achieve in the next 6 months, whether you join the Comics Launch Mastermind or not, getting that out of your head into writing, out into the world can be super valuable. And I've designed the application to ask some really good questions that will hopefully help you get a little bit of clarity on where you've been this year, where you're hoping to go, and what you might need to get there. And it'll be helpful, hopefully, whether or not you join the mastermind. So if you're on the fence, or if you're like, hey, this could be interesting, fill out the application, and then you can decide if you want to take that next step. You can find the application at comixlaunch.com/mm-apply. It's a very simple Google form, nothing too fancy, and it won't take you very long. Note that we only have a limited number of spots available. We have it's usually about an 80 to 85% return rate for our current members. So that means there's only a limited number of spots that are available each time we do this. And so I will prioritize applications that come in first come, first serve, but it's also more about, are you a good fit for the mastermind? And so some key dates to just be aware of: this is a short enrollment process and a short enrollment window that we only do twice a year for about 9 days this time. So as of right now, the applications are open. This is the live info session. This is the live opening of the applications. And you'll have until Friday, June 21st to fill out an application for the Comics Launch Mastermind. I will be reviewing masterminds and checking them out starting next week. And then also will be like following up with creators if I need to get more information about something that comes up in the application. And then I will notify all creators about acceptance on or before June 24th. And then you will still have a week to make a final decision to enroll and commit to the mastermind. Our enrollment payment deadline is July 1st. And then we will actually begin the new mastermind after the 4th of July holiday in the second week of July 2024. So one thing, just if you do fill out that application at comixlaunch.com/mm-apply, just don't forget you get to the end, make sure you hit that blue submit button. It would be a shame to get all the way to the end, answer the questions, and then not forget to hit that submit button, but it's happened before. Also, after you hit that submit button, you will be taken to a page that will let you know that we've received your application, and there will also be the link there for the Comics Launch Mastermind deposit link. If you click that link, that will take you to, and you can make that $50 totally 100% refundable deposit that just signifies to me, okay, yes, I can go and review this application. Again, you'll still have the opportunity to decide whether or not you're going to officially join the group. but I won't review any applications until the deposit comes in. So if you're on the fence, you might as well just fill out the application so that you have an option. And again, applications are only open until June 21st, and the soonest we will open again to new members is January 2025. So if you're interested in leveling up this year, don't miss out on it. I'm going to answer a few FAQs, and if you have any questions that you want to leave in the comments, go ahead and leave those as well. One question that comes up frequently is, hey, what time do the groups meet? And this is it's been the same for several sessions in a row. Currently, the groups meet on the second Wednesday of each month, and there's a Wednesday 6 p.m. group, and there's a 9:30 p.m. group. So we have sort of night owls and early birds. One group is a little bit easier for people that are in the UK, but it'll always fluctuate based on total number of members, and we try to even out the groups as best as possible. But one of the questions that we ask in the application is, hey, which group would work best for you? Another question is, where does the group meet? No, this is not as awesome as it would be to get together in a coffee shop. This is a international group, as the Comics Launch is an international audience. And so we meet in the Comics Launch Zoom room. We've been, again, Zooming before the rest of the world knew Zoom intimately with the COVID pandemic. But it's still very convenient and for our members to get together this way. Where are members located geographically? We have had members all over the world. In the past, our members have come primarily from the US and the UK, but also we've had members from other European Union countries. Australia has represented, Canada has represented. Creators all over the world are encouraged to apply. And how big is the Comics Launch Mastermind? It fluctuates. It usually runs anywhere between 16 and 24 total members. We bring every member together in one central private Facebook group, and then we split into at least 2 different sections. If the groups were big enough, and it made sense, we would potentially open up a 3rd session, but that usually doesn't happen. Yeah, we try to balance out the groups as best as possible, but also make sure that it's a time that works for you. So yeah, if there are any more questions, I don't see any more questions coming through comments, but if there are more questions, you can always share them in the comments and I will circle back and read them. You are probably, if you're watching this, you're probably on the Comics Launch interest list and the Comics Launch VIP list. So you'll be getting, so you probably have access to my email as well, but feel free to shoot me an email at tyler.james@comicstribe if you have any questions. I can answer them that way. But really with the mastermind, we're looking for creators who are learning about this and just saying to themselves, yeah, hell yeah, I'm in. Like, we want hell yeses. Life is too short for to be wishy-washy on things. We're looking for hell yeses. And so if you are a hell yes, I encourage you to go to comicslaunch.com/mm-apply. And again, the deadline is Friday, December 21st to get those applications in. I look forward to checking them out. And again, if there are any questions, leave a comment, let me know, contact me any way that you can. I'm here, happy to get you those answers. But again, short deadline window, December 21st at midnight will be the deadline. So I want to wrap here. I want to thank you, whether you choose to join us inside Comics Launch Mastermind or not. I appreciate your time and attention. I hope you enjoyed learning more about the concept, and I can't wait to see what you launch next. ComixLaunch.com/mm-apply is how you can take that next step for the mastermind. But otherwise, I will be seeing you online, and thank you so much for your time and attention. Take care, everybody.